Luis from LuisReviewer.com here on my video podcast. And well, this week we saw the release of the new streaming service HBO Max. I have to say that I was not gonna get it, um, but I decided to trade. I traded Amazon Prime for that because I saw the list of the movies and series and all that, and I have to say that I'm sometimes I find myself trying to decide what to see first because right now they have a good collection of movies and good collections of shows. Um, so even though this is the Spotlight podcast, I'm going to be a little bit off topic first, just to briefly say what I've been looking at. Obviously, I haven't been seeing a lot of new movies. I've tried to check Redbox to see what's out there, but this is the time where blockbuster films were released. Um, but we're still hoping that soon things will be a little bit better in terms of the virus and all that, which is the most important thing right now, is just to stay safe. Um, so, um, Thankfully, these platforms that we have, Netflix, now HBO Max, Apple TV, Hulu, they give you content, and I've been watching a lot of shows uh, in this past few weeks. Um, I want to briefly, because I want to get into the spotlight topic. Um, just if you see this video and you're thinking of things to see, well, I wanted to briefly recommend a few shows. I've been watching. I just finished, and I got it just for this show. Up the Apple TV subscription, they have a new show called Defending Jacob with Chris Evans, um, and I have to say, it was worth $4. I mean, it's not Apple TV. I don't like that much of what the content is as for now. I've only liked two shows: Defending Jacob and The Morning Show, and I went back just to see this one, and I'm gonna cancel it. And when The Morning Show comes again, then I'll put it again. But this show, Defending Jacob, it's a miniseries. It has 8 episodes, and it's a really good show. I mean, I liked it. It's about this Andrew Barber, who's a district attorney, and he's investigating a murder of a kid. And it turns out in the end that the suspect is his own son. And from then on, it's a roller coaster of how the parents are reacting, the kid, the case, the investigation. I like the scenes in the courtroom. I mean, this is a really good show. So if you're thinking of something to see, you can get Apple TV, even if it's just for 1 month. I recommend it. At least I liked it. And going back to the HBO Max, I just started seeing this new show called Love Life. It's kind of reminded me a little bit of How I Met Your Mother in the sense that there's a narrator telling us how this character is going through different relationships. It started on Kendrick, the voice of Princess Poppy, and it was a nice show. It was a good, interesting show, and I've been watching that. I've been watching also on HBO Max, The Big Bang Theory, which has ended I think it ended this year, and I've seen it a lot on TBS, but I never saw it. I've never seen it in chronological order, so that's what I'm trying to do since the show is part of HBO Max. But anyway, this is a spotlight where I always try to concentrate on a film or a franchise or something in specific. And the reason I went into HBO Max is because this topic that I want to go into I saw the first one yesterday, and they have the whole. I've been wanting to see them for a long time. They have the whole uh, collection of the movies in the platform, and it's part of my introduction. I think it's the first film you see, and it's A Nightmare on Elm Street. Um, so for a long time, I saw the documentary Never Sleep Again, which is a detailed look into the franchise. And for the longest time, I've been wanting to see the film again, but I didn't want to buy it on DVD. It's a set that costs like $20 on Walmart. Sponsor. But I never wanted to buy it because I cannot see it on the TV because I have a daughter. So the only way I could see it was on my phone because it's a little bit easier for me to cover, so she doesn't see anything. Uh, but in digital, this was really expensive. So when I saw that it was on HBO Max, I said, you know what, I'm gonna get it, and if I don't like it, I cancel it in a month. But I love it. I mean, they have classic movies and all that, but I was able to. I'm going now. I'm gonna watch later Nightmare 3, which is one of the best ones. So I wanted to go a little bit into the film. Now, when I was growing up, to see these films was like wow because they were R-rated and all that, and we weren't supposed to see them and all that. So when Freddy is a cultural icon, I mean he became an icon at the times, and to this day, it's a character who, it's embodied in the culture. And but I think what happens with these kind of characters is the first film is really into the genre, it's really horror, and as the character becomes more famous, the films start to get different. I always say this that these films, I mean, were gross, maybe, but they were not really that scary as you see them now because Freddy became such a funny character, and what you want to see was let's see how funny this guy kills these kids. I mean, it sounds awful, but I think this is the truth. But the first one was released in 1984, was written by Wes Craven. Now, if you see the documentary, he said he read it in some places some kid died based on this on nightmares that he was having, and he got inspired to write the film. I think the first film worked so well as a horror film, and you know it's a true horror film because the character of Freddy doesn't feel like the main force in the film, not like the others. When it's made for him. This one centers on the kids and nightmares, and it's really, I mean, to this day I see it, and I think it's one of the series. It might be the one that I feel is more in the horror genre for real, not just a slasher movie, because it's a tense film. I mean, the feel of the music, of the score, the way it was shot, uh, the nightmares. I think they don't aim to be funny; they just aim to scare you. And what is genius about this character is that me as a viewer, of course, I got scared watching Jason, um, but it's harder to encounter a character like Jason who never dies, no matter what you do to him. Freddy lived in your dreams, and that aspect of it, I think, is a little bit more scary because we all dream. Um, so I think the first film it still remains one of the best ones for me, um, and one of the scariest for me in the series. Maybe until A New Nightmare. I mean, A New Nightmare, which was I think Wes Craven coming back after helping with the script on Nightmare 3. A New Nightmare. I don't know how critics received it, but it was really scary. I remember being really tense for that one, and I liked the concept of Freddy coming to real life with the actors playing themselves. I think it was a unique story. Uh, but I went ahead. So that was Nightmare One. Nightmare One, if I'm not wrong, is the first film from Johnny featuring Johnny Depp. So that's something. I mean, he played Nancy's boyfriend, uh, and he gets sucked into the bed, and he dies really bad. Um, sorry, spoiler alert. So anyway, that was the first film I saw it again just the other day, and now Freddy's Revenge, Nightmare 2. I think that's does that one exist? Sorry, it does exist. I don't like it. I don't. I mean, I don't really. I've seen it. It doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the films. The characters feel weak. Um, I think by making the guy the damsel in distress didn't work. Uh, didn't work for me. Yeah, so you know, it's not bad, and it was scary. I think it kept with the trying to scare you tone. Um, but I don't know. It's the one I least enjoy from the series. Now, Nightmare 3, The Dream Warriors, that to me is, I mean, after the original, is the best one. I mean, the fact that it was this kids coming together, all the powers going against Freddy. We get Nancy back, trying to help the kids. They're in an institution. And this film has one of the best Freddy scenes ever with when he's carrying this guy like a puppet. I mean, visually, I mean, this one has a lot of things that looked really cool, and I think it's the first time that they started getting creative with Freddy. I mean, Freddy could do anything in the nightmares, and I think this film got creative in how he went about in those nightmares. I mean, when she put the girl on the TV, a lot of things. I mean, it's just smart. I think it was a smart move in that sense, and the story. I think the story was good. I think it worked. Um, Now, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, that one I think is the first one I saw in a theater. I think I don't remember well, but it kind of felt like a direct follow up to Nightmare 3. It had the same feeling, the same vibe, even though they were directed by different people. Dream Child, you know what? I'm gonna see that one again because I don't have that many memories of that one. Of course, I've seen it. Just that for me, um, the highlights for me are 1, 3, 4, and 6, and the New Nightmare. So Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. That one when I went to the movies and it was the whole 3D thing. When you put those little old glasses back at those days, they were not like today. Um, it was supposed to be the last time we would see Freddy. Of course, it wasn't. Um, that one I liked. I liked the one that is in a video game. Um, the story about when we get to learn a little bit more about Freddy's awful beginnings. Um, when you get Alice Cooper as his father, I think that was totally great. So that one I think worked very well, and it was great. It was a good film. Now, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which was the next time we saw Freddy, like I said, to me, one of the scariest of the series. I mean, when I saw it, I was really tense because it went away from the funny Freddy. I mean, it changed back to how Freddy was in the first one because Freddy was evil, he was sarcastic, but it was not a funny character like in some of the nightmares from 3 to maybe 6. Wes Craven put the tone back into. I think this is just what I think, and and I think it was a little bit scary like the first one when you felt tense. Um, and of course, when we talk about Freddy, you have to say Robert Englund. I mean, uh, I didn't get to see the remake where another actor played Freddy. I looked at the trailer and it didn't convince me. Um, it's hard. I think it's hard when you got these kind of characters who are such a staple of when you were growing up, like Tim Curry. That's it. I saw the new the new It films, and I liked them. I really liked them because in spite of the fact that he's a scary clown, I like the friendship story aspect of it, and I like the new spin that the new films brought. And the guy who played Pennywise, he wasn't bad in it. To me, Tim Curry was better, uh, but I could watch it. But in the case of the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, I couldn't get myself to see it, and I saw the previews and I started to see it, I think, but I couldn't because I think Freddy's Robert Englund. I don't know if we'll get to see Robert Englund one more time as Freddy, but he is definitely Freddy Krueger. He made that character. So after those, we get Freddy versus Jason, which was a film many people waited for. It was an enjoyable film, but I can't say it was something well thought of. Maybe just, I mean, it was a good idea to have Freddy meet Jason to make the kids fear him again, so he can come back to life. It was a nice concept. I'll give him that. But it did feel more like a Jason film than maybe Freddy. Uh, and I think Jason won. So anyway, um, so this is just wanted to talk a little bit about these films in this video blog episode. I'm gonna try and see them this week. I'm going right now trying to see Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and hopefully I'll be able to sleep later. Uh, so everyone, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to leave some comments, feel free, and I'll see you on the next episode.